Cruise news time, and I'm your reporter on the scenes looking for normal cruising. It's the cruise nirvana we've all been looking for since the cruise restart, and I may have found it. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. And like every other cruise tuber out there, every other blogger, journalist, we've been tracking along with the cruise restart to answer the question, is cruising getting back to normal? Now, we've been doing this for almost 6 months now, starting back in June, and I've been on, this is probably my 8th cruise on 8 different cruise ships on a variety of cruise lines, and at the end of every cruise, I'm always trying to answer the question, did this cruise feel normal? So I'm going to go through it. But first, let me just say good morning and welcome to the show. I am on assignment here at the in Belize today, actually. I'm on the Norwegian Joy. I'm in the observation lounge. And wow, this is an amazing spot. I'm super excited that I'll be cruising on a sister ship of the Joy, the Norwegian Encore, in Alaska in August of 2022, primarily for this observation lounge. I'll just show you, look, the pictures speaks louder than the words. Check out the views from this observation lounge. First, I'll show you the forward view, and then I will show you I'll show you where I'm working from right now. Good morning. How about that? I mean, the views here are incredible. Again, can you imagine like this ship in Glacier Bay? In August, I won't have to imagine it. But that's just to set the stage. It's Monday, December the 6th, just to give you some sort of context of when we're talking about normal cruising. I've got some criteria that I'll go through. First, we want to look at the things that are different than other cruise lines. So if you're saying that cruising isn't normal because of the vaccine requirement, because of pre-testing requirement, and because of capacity limitations, that's true across all cruise lines. So that's kind of a standard thing. And so we'll have to wait till that standard changes. But certainly here on Norwegian, you're required to be vaccinated, which is true for most cruise lines right now. There is pre-cruise testing requirement, which is true for almost all cruise lines now. And there are capacity limitations. This ship we're sailing with about 1,500 passengers. I think it holds close to 4,000 passengers, so a little under 50%. So we've got that going on. But again, capacity, vaccination requirement, pre-cruise testing, that's pretty standard for all cruise lines right now. So let's look at the nuts and bolts of normal cruising. What's it like to be on the cruise ship? And we'll look at some of the big ones first. Can you cruise with kids on Norwegian Cruise Line? This has been a restriction on a lot of other cruise lines. Well, currently, Norwegian only allows you to cruise with vaccinated passengers, so that means any passenger that is fully vaccinated can cruise, and right now in the United States, you can have vaccinated passengers starting at the age of 5. So if you are 5 or older, you can get on this cruise ship. So certainly families that meet that demographic, there can be family cruising. There's a lot of family activity here. Another protocol that we've seen employed in other cruise lines, other cruise ships, is social distancing. Not here on the Norwegian Joy. There is not social distancing. You can be in line with a pile of people. You can sit right next to someone in the theater. You can sit next to someone in the main dining room. There is not a requirement for a 6-foot social distancing. No requirement for limitations or social distancing in the elevator. So much like cruising prior to the pandemic, you don't have to worry about how close you are into someone's space. Criteria number 2, capacity limitations and closing of venues. There are no venues that are closed here on the Norwegian Joy. There are no capacity limitations. That's as it was before the shutdown. Criteria number 3, can you go to a cruise port and get off the cruise port and explore on your own? Yes, you can. You do not have to have a ship excursion to get off of the cruise ship. The only thing where the protocols do kick in, whatever the local protocols are, you have to follow those protocols. So if you get off at a port that requires masking or any kind of distancing, then you would have to do that, but that's not imposed by the cruise line. When you're cruising here on Norwegian Joy, you're free to get off the cruise ship without a ship excursion. Another big one in people's minds, what about self-service? Is the buffet self-service? The buffet is self-service. You grab your own plate, you grab the tongs, you put the food on the plate, you get it situated any way you want. If you don't want your food to touch each other, I know people like that, you can just go and make yourself a plate of food and take it back to where you are seated. Of course, there's a lot of staff around helping you, but all the interaction with the food and with the drink at the buffet, self-service. And that's also true beyond the buffet. Here in the observation deck, they have like a little Danish section. They got a place where you can get coffee, you touch the sugar, you touch the cream, all of those things. True here on Norwegian Joy, self-service in full play. And look, I know there's one big criteria left that everybody is curious about. I'm going to tell you all about it, but before I get there, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. We got about 52% of the folks that watch the videos subscribed. It really does help us out, and so if you have a second, if you got some room on your subscription feed, just hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. It doesn't cost anything, and again, it helps us out, helps bring you these reports from on location. Thank you in advance. All right, and so let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about the one that really I feel like is keeping people from cruising right now. It's the face mask requirement. Well, look, I'm indoors here on the Norwegian Joy. I am not wearing a face mask. The only time I was required to wear a face mask was during the embarkation process in the terminal, and then once I disembark, once I get into the terminal, I'll have to wear a face mask. But once you're on the cruise ship, there are no masks required. Now, certainly people are wearing masks who want to wear a mask, but it is not a requirement of the cruise to wear a face mask indoors. And so really the only time that you may have to mask up is if you get off the cruise ship and you go out to a port, and that's a local requirement. But as far as cruising inside, sitting next to somebody in the theater, sitting next to somebody anywhere, shoulder to shoulder, no face mask requirement, which again, I know that that's a big requirement that's keeping a lot of people off of cruise ships. So if you're looking for a maskless cruising experience, you can do it here on Norwegian. So look, let me leave it with you. Certainly you guys know that I'm a cruise fan, and so I am definitely looking for the positives when it comes to cruising. But honestly, this does feel like cruising prior to the pandemic. Those things that you have to deal with, that we've had to deal with all cruises, vaccination, pre-cruise testing, mask in the terminal, those kind of things, capacity limitations, that's going to be true for a little while. But I know people at their core are looking for what it's like for those 7 days when you're on the cruise ship. Can you relax? Can you enjoy life without limitations, without face mask? You certainly can do it on Norwegian Cruise Line. And I tell you what, the couple days that I've been here, excellent entertainment, excellent food. I'm having a blast. The facilities here, like I said, this observation deck is a little bit mind-blowing. I would say consider Norwegian. If you're holding out because your favorite cruise line still has some policies, some protocols that you don't like, take a look at Norwegian if you're looking to get back on the sea, or wait it out. You know, I know that that's the option, and that's the question. I'll kick it over to you. Are you willing to change cruise lines to have a different kind of cruising experience? Does this cruise experience that I've described seem normal? What do you think? What's the big hindrance for you? Leave a comment below. Thanks so much for checking out the show today. Please show your support by hitting the like button, or I'm going to show you more footage of this beautiful Belize to rub it in your face. You probably don't want that. I'm going to show it to you anyways. Here's another shot. This is Tony with Lido, Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.